Hey Presby family, Pastor Andrew here. I hope that you are having a wonderful day. We just celebrated Memorial Day, which is an important holiday in the life of our nation. One of the things that I appreciate about Memorial Day is the way that it takes our focus and it invites us to turn our focus off of ourselves onto other people, especially the people to whom we owe so much for the freedom and the privileges that we get to enjoy within this nation. It reminds us that what we have isn't just the work of our own hands. It doesn't just come from us. It is a gift from God, but it's a gift made possible through the sacrifices, through the hard work, through the courage and the commitment of those who have gone before us. And we see the same idea expressed in Scripture, in the life of faith. I hope that over the past few days you've had the opportunity to reflect on the deeds of those who have gone before you and on what you owe to them and how you can in turn make the world a better place for those who come after you. And I want us to think about this not only with regard to our nation, but with regard to our faith. Many of you probably stand upon the shoulders of the giants who have gone before you. And we see this idea talked about in Hebrews chapter 12, verse 1. In chapter 11, the author of the book of Hebrews has just been talking about men and women of faith who have lived throughout the history of God's people. And he talks about the different deeds that they have done and how those were an outgrowth of their own faith in the Lord. And then, after talking about their lives, he turns around and in verse 1 of chapter 12 says, "Therefore, since we are surrounded by such a great cloud of witnesses." And for you probably also, just as the author of Hebrews, owe a lot to those who have gone before you, your forefathers and foremothers in the faith. Maybe someone who has influenced you for Christ has been a parent or a grandparent. Maybe it was a Sunday school teacher. Maybe it was a friend. Maybe it was a coworker or a mentor. But I invite you to think about who that great cloud of witnesses might include for you. The people that God has used to shape you spiritually, to introduce you to Christ, and to help you grow in grace. With regard to this, the author of Hebrews moves on, and after talking about this cloud of witnesses that has influenced the people of faith, he then talks about the action that he encourages them to take. Because we're surrounded by this cloud of witnesses, let us throw off everything that hinders and the sin that so easily entangles, and let us run with perseverance the race marked out for us. This is a beautiful verse because it directs us to the past, but it also propels us toward the future. And so as you think about the way that people have influenced your life for the better, Scripture invites you to also think about how you can be someone to influence another person's life for the better, about how you could be a member of someone else's great cloud of witnesses. When we look at these people that are talked about in Hebrews 11, most of them would have considered themselves pretty ordinary people. They have flaws, they have problems, and the Bible often describes the drama of their lives in very vivid details. But when the author of Hebrews looks back, he sees them not for the mess, he sees them for what God accomplished through them. And so too, even though often we feel like our lives are a mess, often we feel like we don't really know what we're doing and we're just trying to live one day at a time, God can use that. God can use that to have an impact on those around us and on those who come after us. So the encouragement for us then is to throw off anything that can hold us back and run with perseverance the race that God is marking out for us. And right now for you, that race is probably one of challenge. This is a time that none of us could have anticipated. But this gives us comfort knowing that just as generations in the past have had their unique challenges and struggles, so right now, this is our time. This is the challenge that God has put before us. And with it, we find new opportunities to glorify Him, to love one another, and to show the world what it looks like to put our hope in Jesus Christ. Because right now, that world is looking for hope. So let us, friends, rise above the chaos of the moment. Let us not be the ones to point fingers at one another, but let us fix our eyes upon Jesus Christ. Let us with perseverance run the race that is before us. Let us seek to bring joy to our city and to our world, so that we can show Jesus Christ as beautiful in all things. So I leave you with this encouragement, friends, to keep your mind on the past, to keep your heart set toward moving forward in the future, and to keep your eyes fixed on Jesus Christ. Have a great week.